Off we go from Denver. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he's looking good now. I mean, 5 touchdown passes in the last game. Okay, he threw a couple of interceptions. That's a little bit of a concern. But I remember a basketball coach telling me one time, he had a guy who averaged about 40 points a game, and he said the press got all over him because he didn't play much defense. He said he's averaging over 40 a game. The guy against him's not scoring that. We still have the advantage.
Yeah, and they got the win last week in that effort.
Even better. It's always best to clean up things after a win than after a loss.
Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. When you look at this defense, they enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tyus Bowser coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. Well, anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And that's one of those calls where you play it safe, but you're hoping that maybe something might spring for you, because instead of forcing ball downfield on 3rd and long, maybe you can hit them with something underneath, break a tackle or 2, pick up a block, and see what happens. Not here, though. Good job reading the screen, and it sets up 4th down.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that, because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The Ravens at 500, sitting at 5-5, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well, because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
9 yards, and that leaves them just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
If you look at this Bronco defense, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And this is going to be another first down as he'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. To throw is Jackson. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Jackson going to change things up a bit. Swift. Touchdown, Baltimore. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now Wilson. They got his man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've got that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. Offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. They go play action now. Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to grab catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson will throw again. Open man is Duvernay. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Jackson's throw there complete to Hamler. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd down, Swift gets around him, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
At the 6-yard line.
Jackson. There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 2nd down, Williams. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Throwing is Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson, and his throw here's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now is 2nd and 10. Now Williams running left. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's thrown.
I see the surprise in the face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Here's Jackson to throw. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Open man downfield is Judy. He's got it. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the...
And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Flushed out right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Jackson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we have reached halftime over. No problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And that's going to be another good run on first down. This one goes for 14 as he is eating them up here to begin the drive. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Once again, it's Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll roll him out right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he...
And he'll get in! Touchdown, Baltimore! Devin Duvernay. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On first down, Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Wilson now off the bootleg. And this is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Able to shake him off, eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Tyus Bowser picks up his second sack of the afternoon. From the 15 now after the sack. It's 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Jackson now. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.